Salam, today we are going to learn possessive adjective your ularını and their suffixes. Now the first one that we are going to learn is informal your, senin. There are several suffixes for senin. If the last letter of the noun ends with vowel, we add ng. For example, mesela senin balan. Okay? But if the last letter is consonant, we need to add other suffixes like in. Mesela, for example, pul, pulun, öy, öyün, smın. As I have already mentioned in my previous lesson, how do we know when to add which suffix? My answer is simple. Whichever you find it easy to pronounce, just add that one. For example, it's hard to say pulun, right? It's hard to pronounce it. Try to say pulun. It's even harder. However, when you say pulun, it feels natural. It's easier to pronounce, right? So just follow your tongue. If it's hard for your tongue to pronounce, it may not be the correct suffix. Even if you say the wrong one, people will still understand you. So, but it just sounds a bit odd, so don't dwell on it too much. Next one is sizның. This is the formal one, more polite one. Okay. The thing is, people use this with their families as well, so I would say it's just how some Uyghurs speak. Like some Uyghurs just prefer to use siz with everyone instead of sen. So, for example, I love to use siz with everyone. I don't really use sen. So using siz does not mean like you have a distant formal relation with people. It just means you prefer to use polite terms with everyone. Okay. Sizның, your. Sizның balınız. This, like, the suffix rule for this is a bit easier. If the nouns end with vowel, we just add ңыз. Just like balınız, it ends with bala. So we add ңız, balınız. Okay? You may ask, like, why did you change the a to e and then as ңız? If you check my previous lesson, I have already talked about that. If you see a attached to it and ңız, you need to change a to e and then add ңız. However, even if you say like balangız, sizin balangız, people will still understand you. But it's just hard to pronounce it, and it will just sound a bit odd. So yeah, even if you're wrong, it's still fine. So again, don't dwell on this too much. If the noun ends with consonant, we just add ыңız. Pul, pulunuz. Öy, öyünüz. Ismınız. Next one is also the polite one, okay? This one is a lot politer than siz, which is silının, özlerinin, okay? I'm just gonna combine these two because the suffix rule is exactly the same. For example, we add leri to both of it. For example, silının balıları, özlerinin balıları. Both mean like your children or your child, okay? We just need to add leri regardless of whether the last letter of the noun is consonant or vowel. For example, Sıla'nın pulları, Sıla'nın öyleri, Sıla'nın isimleri, özlerinin pulları, özlerinin öyleri, özlerinin isimleri. So this super polite one, you use it with like elderly people, people that you really respect. Because it's like extremely polite, extremely nice way of saying your. But like young people don't really use it with each other, or like if you guys are like the same age range, you don't really use this with each other. Okay, next one is the plural one. We just have one plural, okay? Slarının. We just have one plural adjective for your. Slarının. The suffix rule for plural version is tiny bit difficult, so pay attention. If it's vowel, we add nlar. For example, مثلا slarının balanlar. Slarının balanlar. If the last letter of the noun is consonant, we add unlar, unlar, inlar. Pulunlar, uyunlar, smınlar. Okay? Now let me teach you guys why do we have so many your. Okay, let me just give you guys a bit of a background introduction. So, why do we have so many possessive adjectives just for your? Because, simple answer, because yours are extremely polite people. We use different your for different people based on how well do we know each other, status of the person in the society. For example, you don't address people you respect with informal your, you address elderlies with extremely formal your. If you have just met the person the first time, always use this, otherwise it's just like too rude. But if you see like elderly person, like the people that you respect, use silly with them. But and then like after a few interaction with, especially if the person is like around your like age range, just tell the person, can I call you Sen? And then if the person agrees, just call them Sen. Just ask. Okay, right. That's it for today. If you have more questions, please leave it in the comment section. Hope you learned something useful from the lesson.